At 5:11 a.m., a man I barely knew banged on my door and told me one thing: if you step outside today, you will die wearing someone else's identity. It was still dark over Harborview City when the knocking started, violent, urgent, and so out of place that it ripped me out of sleep like a warning siren. The clock read 5:11 a.m. No one knocks at that hour unless danger is already inside your life. I pulled on a jacket, went to the door, and when I opened it, my neighbor, Evan Marlowe, the quiet historian who rented the duplex next to mine, stood there breathless, drenched in fear. "Mira, don't go to work today. Not even a step outside this house. Please. Just trust me." His voice shook. Evan barely ever spoke to anyone. He lived like a ghost. Polite nods, short greetings, nothing more. Seeing him terrified was unnatural. "What happened?" I asked. He looked around the street first, scanning the shadows. "I can't explain yet," he whispered. "Just stay inside. Your life depends on it. You'll understand by noon." Before I could speak again, he hurried back to his house without looking back. I closed my door slowly, my skin cold. It should have been easy to shrug off as paranoia, but it wasn't. Because for weeks something had been wrong around me. A gray SUV parked outside my apartment every night. Blocked calls where no one spoke. My younger brother from London asking if I noticed anyone new in my street. And worst of all, my mother's sudden death 3 months ago, right before she said she needed to show me something about our family origins. Her last words to me: "There is a truth you are not ready for, but it's already coming." I ignored it then. I shouldn't have. My name is Mira Langford, 31, genetic data analyst at Arden Biosystems, and I have never missed a work day in 8 years. Until today. I texted my manager saying I had a family emergency, then waited. Hours crawled. Every sound felt amplified. By 11:30, I felt ridiculous. Nothing happened. No messages. No knocks. No Evan. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I picked up. "Ms. Langford," a stern voice said. "This is Lieutenant Reese from Harborview Police. Are you aware of the violent incident that occurred at Arden Biosystems this morning?" My heart froze. "What incident?" "There was an attack at your building. Multiple injuries. We believe you were on site during the event." "That's impossible. I wasn't there." Silence. Then, "Ma'am, your car was recorded entering the parking lot at 8:03 a.m. Your ID was used, and witnesses claim they saw you on the 3rd floor shortly before the attack." My knees weakened. Someone had used my identity. "Officer, I never left my house today. Can anyone verify that?" I looked at the walls of my empty apartment. "No," I whispered. "I live alone. Units are on their way to your address. Please don't leave." As he spoke, I realized something chilling. If someone wanted to frame me, why would the police be rushing to find me so fast? Unless this wasn't a rescue. This was an arrest. Or worse, a retrieval. A sharp knock hit my door. But it wasn't the police. "Mira, it's Evan. Open the door. Please." He sounded calm now, too calm. "How did you know the police would call me?" I asked through the door. His answer made my blood run cold. "Because they're not coming to protect you. They're coming to take you into federal custody. You were never supposed to wake up in your apartment today." I opened the door a few inches. Evan slipped inside quickly. "They staged the attack," he continued. "And you were meant to be there, not as a victim, but as the person they'd accuse." My voice cracked. "Why me?" He reached into his coat and placed a black envelope in my hands. "Because your mother asked me to look after you." Everything inside me stopped. "My mother? She wasn't a university librarian like you believed," Evan said. "She was a covert investigator working on a classified genetics program. And you, Mira, were the center of that investigation." My hands trembled as I opened the letter. "Mira, if you're reading this, they're coming for you. Your father didn't die in an accident. Your identity was never ordinary. You carry something they want back. Do not surrender yourself under any circumstances. You are not who you think you are."
Mom.
My world tilted. "Mira," Evan said softly, "you weren't created by the program. You were the one they failed to replicate. You're naturally born with genetic markers they've tried to engineer for 20 years. Immunity profiles no human should naturally possess. I felt faint. So I'm what? A test subject. You're the one thing they can't control, Evan said. And that makes you valuable enough to frame, abduct, or erase. Sirens sounded in the distance. They were close. Evan pulled out a metal keycard. This unlocks your mother's secure vault. Inside are documents naming the people behind the operation. If they get you before you get that vault, the truth dies with you. I looked at the keycard, then at the window glowing with approaching lights. Where is the vault? An underground research chamber outside the city. Your mother built it with people she trusted. I inhaled deeply. Fear burned away, replaced by something sharper. Let's go, I said. We escaped seconds before unmarked black vehicles turned into the street.
We drove toward the mountains.
Evan silent, me holding my mother's letter like a lifeline. An hour later, we reached a camouflaged concrete door hidden beneath vines. Inside was a massive vault sealed with a DNA lock. Your mother said only her bloodline can open it, Evan explained. I pressed my palm to the scanner. A pulse of blue light scanned my skin. The vault opened. Inside was a circular room filled with data cubes, encrypted drives, and one leather journal, the last thing my mother ever wrote. Her message: you are not a weapon. You are proof that humanity can evolve beyond control. They fear you because you are what they could never create. Now you must choose. Expose the truth, or surrender your identity forever. At the center were two buttons: Surrender Protocol, Global Release Protocol.
I didn't hesitate.
I pressed Global Release. Every file related to the program began uploading to worldwide media networks. There was no turning back. Mira, Evan whispered, you just started a war. Alarms blared. They were here. We ran through the escape tunnel as helicopters roared overhead. But I wasn't the helpless woman who woke up at 5 a.m. I was the daughter of a truth that refused to stay buried. I was the beginning of their end. And I wasn't running anymore. I was becoming what I was born to be. Uncontrollable. Unclaimed. Unbroken.